Hey guys, welcome back to Pat Mac's Adventures. I am Patrick. In today's video, I thought I would share with you guys the real reason and the truth as to why I am here in the Philippines. If you've been following me for a while, you've seen that I've been here out in Asia for the past 6 years. I've been to so many other countries. I've been to Russia, Kazakhstan, Central Asia, Brunei, so many places that a lot of people don't go to. But I've always avoided the Philippines. In today's video, I'm not going to talk about why I've avoided the Philippines. I'm thinking about doing a video about that, which will be a very personal video about why I have stayed away from the Philippines for so long. But in today's video, I want to share with you guys why I finally ended up coming here. I actually arrived in the Philippines in February 2020, and as you've seen through my videos, ended up getting stuck here during the pandemic, and I have decided to ride things out because of how things are going internationally right now. I go home to see my family in San Diego, California every year for the holidays. So I went home at the end of November 2019 for Thanksgiving, was there through the month of December for Christmas, and after New Year's. After New Year's, I flew to Thailand. I go to Thailand once or twice every year. That country, I just love Thailand. I have friends there. I go there for medical stuff too. That's where I always get my teeth cleaned. I really love the dentist there. I always get a full body health check there. Thailand is my hub of relaxation, and it's just, that country just really clicks for me. But while I was in Thailand this year in 2020, I was really trying to think about what do I really want? What do I really want to do in my travels and in my life? And as those of you who have been following me for a while, you saw that I had taken about a 4-month break because I needed some time away from YouTube, and I really wanted to kind of give myself more of a direction. While I was in Thailand and having my time to myself and getting my teeth cleaned and just relaxing, I decided that I really wanted to go back to Taiwan, and that I wanted to make Taiwan my home, and that I wanted to have a home base somewhere in Asia. I want to still travel a lot, but I wanted to have a home base. I want to have, you know, those regular friends that you can call out to go to the movies on a Friday night, or dates and those kind of things. So just have some more normalcy. But then with my job teaching online, having the freedom to leave and go traveling anytime I want for as long as I want. And that's what I decided I wanted to do. And I also really wanted to start to learn Mandarin Chinese. I've been to China, or mainland China, and I've loved the Chinese culture. I've loved Taiwan and the Taiwanese culture as well. And I've been to Hong Kong several times. And that culture is just something I've always been very fascinated with. My mom, when I was younger, was an acupuncturist. So when I was a little kid, we used to go to the herbal store, the Chinese stores in downtown San Diego, whenever I had a sore throat or any other ailment that was going on. We would always go to and have the Chinese medicine, or she would do acupuncture on me. Like if I had a headache, they put the needles in the head and it sends signals. Anyway, I've just always been connected to the Chinese culture. It's really clicked with me. So I applied for the normal university in Taiwan, in Taipei, for their language program. I ended up getting accepted into the program. So I would have been learning Mandarin Chinese 15 hours a week. And then I would also be working full-time, and this is what I really wanted to do. But I needed to get my student visa for Taiwan. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to obtain my student visa in Bangkok, Thailand, due to an agreement between the US and Thailand. For whatever reason, Americans are just not able to get a student visa in Bangkok. So I had several options. I could go to Tokyo, I could go to Hong Kong, or I could go to Manila. These were the 3 countries and locations where I could get my student visa. The pandemic had just started in January. I had been following it. They had their first case in Chiang Mai whenever I was there, and things were really getting kind of crazy in Hong Kong, so I decided not to go to Hong Kong. Tokyo was a bit too far and a little more expensive, and so I decided on Manila. And I was only going to be in Manila here in the Philippines for 1 week only, and that was to get my visa and to go to Taiwan, and that was it. That was my plan. So I flew here to Manila back in, I think it was February 10th, February 11th, one of those days is when I actually arrived here in the Philippines. Went to the embassy here. Unfortunately, there were so many errors that were happening with my application that I had to go to the embassy every day for like 4 days. in Metro Manila. Then the Philippine government decided to block flights between Taiwan and the Philippines, classifying Taiwan as part of China and classifying them together, and everything was blocked. So my flight to Taiwan was canceled. The only way I could get back to Taiwan is I would have to do a 3-country trip, which would look something like Manila, Tokyo, Taipei, or Manila, Bangkok, Taipei. I had already spent some money and I was just like, oh man, you know, going back and forth, and the pandemic was starting to take off more in here in Asia, and I was a bit nervous. I took a few days in my hotel here in Manila, and I decided, you know what? I will go to Taiwan for the summer semester. I will just skip the spring semester. Things are kind of looking really unpredictable right now. I've never been here in the Philippines. I would love to, you know, go see the islands and travel the Philippines, and then I can go to Taiwan in May. That was my new plan, to stay here in the Philippines, travel a bit, experience everything that I've seen online and from friends who have been here about how amazing the Filipinos are and the islands and the beauty here, which it has been amazing. And I feel so sad that it was cut short because of the pandemic, but I can always go back, and this is not going to last forever, so I will continue to travel the Philippines. So that was my plan, and my plan was to go back to Taiwan then in May. So I started traveling, and as you guys saw, by the middle of March is when the pandemic really hit the Philippines here, and I was in Boal down in Cebu. I remember it so clearly. I was diving that day, and we had just finished our second dive, and we had come up, and the Filipino guys on the boat, the divers and the boat drivers, they were all glued to their phones, and that's the day that Metro Manila, or the whole Manila area, went into ECQ, or enhanced community quarantine. And I was on the boat with other foreigners, and we were realizing, oh my gosh, this is getting really serious. And we were talking about, are we gonna stay, or are we gonna go? There was a girl from Australia who was like, no, I can come back to the Philippines later, I'm gonna go back home. There was another couple from Canada and Australia. They decided to stay here for a bit and then make their way back to Australia. But me, being a digital nomad, I can work from anywhere, and I had just come from the US in January. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm not gonna pay to go all the way back home to see my family, because I always go to see my family in November and December. At that moment, I was like, where am I gonna go? Things were still blocked between the Philippines and Taiwan, so Taiwan wasn't an option. And then I started thinking about visas. Well, which country is gonna give me the longest visa? Malaysia is 90 days. Thailand is 30 days, and you can maybe extend it for a second month. I had no idea about the visa situation here in the Philippines and how easy it is to keep extending and extending. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna stay in the Philippines, and I need to get to Cebu City immediately because of work, and because that's just where all the resources are, and I needed good internet to work. Unfortunately, I had to cut my trip short in Boal and made my way to Cebu City, which you guys have all seen. I got stuck there for 3 months and then finally made it back here to Metro Manila. The reason why I came back to Manila, as I've mentioned in earlier videos, is it's just a lot more open here. All the embassies are here. It's just, you know, being locked in a hotel for over 3 months and not being able to go out with a quarantine pass was finally getting to me. And so I really wanted to be here, and I wanted to be close to embassies too. My embassy, the Taiwanese embassy, other countries' embassies, so I can get direct information here physically. And I have some friends here in Manila as well. As of right now, I have to be honest and say that this pandemic has completely thrown off what I wanted to do. It's made me question what I really wanted to do again, and I'm working on just living in the moment. I really do want to go back to Taiwan, and I really want to study and learn Mandarin, but the reality is it's not gonna happen this year. I really want it to happen this year, but it looks like it's not gonna happen. And I'm here, I'm in the Philippines, and I love it here so far, and the people have been great, and it's beautiful, and I've been here for almost 5 months, and I haven't made any effort to learn the language or Tagalog. The reason why is because I wasn't mentally planning to stay here. In my mind, I was always ready to go. Oh, it's gonna be next month, I'm gonna leave the Philippines. Next month, I'm gonna leave the Philippines. But the reality is that I'm here, and I'm probably gonna stay here because I think it's the safest place for me to be right now. I can continue to extend my visa into 2021, I don't have to worry about, you know, a 30-day visa or 90 days and then leaving the country or doing a visa run. I don't have to worry about that here. And that is a really big pro about being here in the Philippines right now during the pandemic. If I had a choice, would I want to go back to Taiwan? Yes. But that isn't the reality, and maybe Taiwan is not where I'm gonna end up. I really don't know, but I wanna live more in the moment, and so I'm gonna start learning some Tagalog, and I'm thinking of maybe doing a video of me trying to learn Tagalog, which I've never done. That's such a different kind of video for me to do. I'm here now in the Philippines, and I really want to live in the moment, and I think it would be fun to try to learn Tagalog, and it would be fun to incorporate that into my videos. I hope this video was interesting to you guys. I would love to hear some of your stories if you're a traveler like me, or even if you're not a traveler in your home country, what it was like when the lockdown started to happen where you were. Did you have to make fast decisions? Did you stay where you were? Did you try to get out of somewhere really quickly? Feel free to leave them down below. I'd love to read them. Thanks again for watching, guys, and remember to live every moment to the max. I'll see you guys next time.